This is the magicwordpodcast.com.
Hello, this is Scott Wells for the magicwordpodcast.com. I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. I've had a very nice convention at the FISM over the last week or so that you heard the reports, and then got to do a little bit of relaxing. I say relaxing. We've got to spend some time in Perugia and in, where did we go? Assisi. And I'd forgotten Montegione, and then ended up in Rome and seeing a lot of the highlights. It was kind of cool. We had dinner one evening with Ilan Iannone, a good friend and good lecturer, which, by the way, if you happen to be interested next time he comes through to have him lecture, I had arranged for his tour earlier this year, and he got a lot of good compliments. And anyhow, he does a very good lecture. That aside, it was a great convention at FISM. Go back and listen to all the reports. I even have a friend who had done an AI version of the all 6 days combined into a 10-minute recap, but it's all in Japanese. If you're interested, send me an email or a PM, and I will send you a link. So this way, if you can translate to Japanese, or you want to hear just 10-minute excerpt of the whole 6 days, I guess they did it. I can't understand it. I haven't translated it yet. I just got that this morning. I say this morning because actually I'm in Colon, Michigan. That's right. It's time for Abbott's Get-Together. That's why you're tuned in to listen to this one. I'm on my way to the golf course because it's time for the Open Colon, or the Colon Open, whatever it is, golf tournament that we have annually, hosted by the one and only Al the Only, and I'm literally looking forward to that. This is pretty much the one time a year I have any time at all to actually go out and play some golf, and I really enjoy the sport. Many of you know I had moved from Houston to the Austin area, living in Georgetown, and I live near a golf course, and all my neighbors play, but I just haven't had the time because I've been working on podcasts for you guys and gals. So I am going to go and see how I can hit the ball here. It's been a while since I've actually been out on the course. And then later today, after we get back, go and register early, go by the Abbott's Magic Factory and get logged in with them, and also going to go to David Seebach's party, who always has a night before shindig, and everybody's invited over to that. It's at the old theater across the street from, I believe, the Sterlini's Magic Company. It used to be the old Dwayne Laughlin Theater. If you happen to be in town, well, by the time you hear this, it's too late. It's already come and gone, because this is going to be a report on the first day. This is going to be a pretty full episode because it's going to be including not only people I talk with here today, like I'm sure I'm going to get a chance to talk with Al, but also with David Seebach and a few other people here at the party later tonight. And then the first day actually begins tomorrow, and I'm not sure how much of a full day that is. I haven't looked at the schedule here, but a lot of stuff is going to be happening. If you have not yet registered and you live in the Chicago area, for an example, or someplace that's within easy striking distance, I mean, that's what I did. I flew straight from Rome to Chicago, rented a car, and drove over here and got a few nights sleep, or a few hours sleep, I guess, before I took off here for the golf course. I know I'm crazy, jet lagged and everything. So I think you should probably see about coming over and registering for Abbott's Get-Together. I had heard the registration is down, which surprises me because of the talent lineup. Oh my gosh, with talent like headlining will be Jeff Hobson. We're going to be having Lance Burton and Fielding West. We're having Mike Caveney, Dan Sperry. I don't remember who all those are, just kind of some of the people on the tip of the iceberg, which makes me wonder whether or not we're going to be having the convention again next year. If we do, perhaps it may not be in the same form or fashion of the Abbott's Get-Together that we are used to, which they call Camp Colon. So anyhow, I'm going to shut up for a while to give some room for my guests to speak. Thank you all very much, those of you who have been sending your cards and letters, all the emails, messages, and phone calls I've received who have supported me, even though the Magic Word podcast nor the pod letter had won anything, but we were nominated, and darn proud of that. That is no small accomplishment, and the fact that I'm supported by so many loving people like you guys who said that you really enjoyed it means a whole heck of a lot. That means the world to me. Of course, it would have been nice to have won, but that's a whole other issue. We'll be discussing it at a later time, perhaps during Magic Live. Got a few people, Craig Petty and David Penn and I, and a few others, I think are going to be submitting something to the FISM board for their consideration for the future. That being aside, we're on our way to forget about that. We're in Colon. We're here for the the end of the universe. We're in Colon, Michigan. I know, hear it all. So, and heading to the golf course. That's enough for right now. So, I don't have a donut. Let me just say, donut or coffee, which is why that I'm talking pretty fast, because I haven't had my caffeine break yet. But they have both available at the golf course, and so I'm looking forward. That's why I'm driving fast to get there to have a donut. I know one of the selections they usually have is an apple fritter, and this is the only time of the year I actually have an apple fritter. It's a big thing and really good, and an apple fritter a day keeps the doctor away. Maybe let's go with that, and a cup of coffee. I'll be enjoying that soon. Hope you enjoy this podcast. Enjoy the reports I'm going to be submitting, and I will talk with you guys very soon. So, for now, Scotty out. As we were coming to the golf course, I told you why we were coming for the Open Colon, or Colon Open, whatever you want to call it. And I'm here with the man himself all the way from Hawaii, Al the Only, Al Aloha. Hey, Al, aloha.
Hey, Scott. Glad you could make it again.
Well, this is great. What number is this, by the way?
Number 36.
You haven't missed a year, except during COVID when we didn't have, I guess.
That's true. We got rained out 3 times, and we got COVIDed out once.
And you tend to have a pretty good group of about 20 or 30 people every year, despite, the core group of people.
Yeah. Well, this year we got lucky. We did have 30 people. Usually it's closer to 20. Mm-hmm. But either it's growing in popularity or nobody has anything to do on a Tuesday morning.
Well, they were anxious to get here to Colon to kind of get things started. And the same thing with you. You came a little bit early then to get things, you said, kind of because you have so many friends and everybody around the community, so you come like a week early just to hang out in Colon.
I'm a week early. I come for the R&R, and I end up working more and visiting with everyone. And before I know it, that week goes by, and all of a sudden all the magicians show up, and there's another week. And
I've asked you before, but what number is this for you? Do you recall?
This is my 53rd.
53rd, so you do keep track.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, it all started with Jeff Bibick and I meeting here in 1974, and we made a pact that we're going to get to 25 of these. Mm-hmm. This year it's at 53, so...
And he should be coming today also.
He'll be in later today, yep.
Yeah. And as you said, you've been doing this golf tournament. Whose idea was this to begin with? Was it something that you started or others did and you picked up? Or
I showed up with a brand new set of golf clubs, and I brought they happened to be in my trunk. And Jeff Bibick and Mike Rosso, a friend of Ab Dixon's, they saw the golf clubs and said, we ought to have a golf outing. Well, not only do we ought to have one, you ought to be in charge. So I thought, okay, let's start it. And Ab Dixon's really the one who gave us the name, the Open Colon.
Well, it sounds like that that Ab and Carol are responsible for more than just this golf tournament as far as your life goes.
They have influenced me in ways I bet they didn't even know they were doing it. Yeah. Ab with the golf outing and Carol with the graveyard tour. I'm very lucky,
So the graveyard tour you've been doing longer than
No, 14 years. I think this is either the 14th or 15th. And the reason the graveyard tour is mostly because of Hank Morehouse. Hank Morehouse basically handpicked me from what I've been told.
Because he used to do it, you mean? Or
no, he just besides they couldn't find another sucker to do it. No.
Why did they decide to do it? I guess because there were a dozen and then 2 dozen. They finally said, "Hey, we should put together a tour of this."
Well, we would go out on Friday nights with Carol. Carol, Ab, Jay Marshall, Howard Flint. We'd all go over to Duke Stern's grave. And that was a Friday
night.
Yeah, Friday night ritual. Then Carol took Bibick and me on a private tour, basically because there was a camera crew and he needed an audience. And we happened to be at the right place at the right time. Carol grabbed us 2 kids and said, "Come on, we're going to the cemetery." Well, after Carol passed, Jerry Conklin took over the midnight tour. And I guess not Carol, but Hank Morehouse got the idea of giving another activity to the convention and asked me if I would conduct a tour during the day. And that's the way it started.
And this is something that is unique because there is no other magician's graveyard in the world I know of.
And I think we're the only convention that has a golf outing.
Well, 4F used to have a golf outing for a long
I've
time.
golfed in that, right.
Yeah.
I played with Rolando De Santos.
I think a couple of others have now and again, but not on a continuous basis.
Right.
So they continue then with this.
See, they need a sucker to organize it.
But you have, again, been doing the tours for a long number of years and have even written a book, and you said it is, unlike the cemetery, it's a living and breathing book because you keep adding to it as more people pass.
That's exactly right. And that in itself is a chore. I'm 4 chapters behind. And the other reason it's a living book is as people get the book, I get contacted. Well, did you know this about that person? Or I have a photo that I have from 1950-something. So if I feel that the story is unique enough or funny enough, I will actually put it into that chapter. The next book is coming out in 2026. It will probably end up being a 2-volume set, and those will never, ever be reprinted.
And they won't be added to or anything.
No.
They will be standalone.
There will be addendums printed either every 5 years or every 10 magicians, whichever happened first.
And how many people are in the cemetery now?
We're almost at 50. But I'm finding out that not everyone is buried under their stone. I really think that we can't find John Booth, and now I find out that his wife wasn't there either. And we're trying to find the family. I actually had a private detective look into it for a little while, and that never got us any closer. Ken Houston. He was a circus magician. We don't think his widow has placed him in the ground yet. We know that Norm Nielsen, that Lupe still has Norm at home.
I just talked with her. She's planning on bringing him here.
Oh, good. Well, sometimes it's hard to give up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we're teetering on 49 people right now, or at least 49 graves that are marked with magicians.
Now, going to you specifically, of course, you're in Hawaii, and you're kind of going back and forth between states over, I say stateside, I mean on the mainland, I guess, and then over there. But recently you'd gone to China with Franz Ferrari. Tell me a little bit about that experience. That'd be great, with you and Rocco and Franz.
Over the top. I don't know how rock stars are treated, but I certainly felt like I was treated as a rock star. It was a mammoth, epic show. All designed by Franz, from the building of the theater to all of the staging and tech.
Did people come to you, or did you travel with the theater?
No. A theater was built on a parking lot. It was a temporary theater, girders and kind of a canvas covering, 1,400-seat theater.
Wow.
And it was just over the top. I mean, Franz is just brilliant in design and execution, in being the showman he is. We had Rocco, Mickey O'Connor is a comedy juggler, I think from New York, presently New York. Danny and Stacy Cole, Philip Kaiser, a buddy of mine from Brazil, Fabio Oliveira, and myself. Gosh, I hope I'm not. Tina is a female magician from Taiwan. Her husband was instrumental in a lot of behind-the-work stuff. Her husband is a magician in his own right, and they also work together. We had, I think, 10 or 12 dancers. So it was a show like you can't believe. the back wall was nothing but a big LED wall.
Wow.
So we had black curtains on the side, but other than that, there were no curtains.
Yeah.
And every act had a different motif behind them. It was breathtaking and artistic, and the acts were over the top.
How many people were in the audience? I mean,
we actually had audiences of less than 200, and then we had sold-out audiences of 1,400. And I'm proud to say every show is standing ovation. Fran just really knows how to work them. Then afterwards, we did a meet and greet, and teenage girls throwing themselves on you. See, nobody asks for autographs anymore. It's all selfies.
Sure.
Old people, which they're probably my age. People handing me babies so I could hold. We had movie stars show up. Nobody that I knew because they were movie stars in Hong Kong, and through Asia. But you knew when somebody important came in because of the buzz in the theater and people pointing. We had people approach us that so and so would like a photograph. It was over the top. It was
How long?
3.5 months.
Wow.
We did. I think it was well over 300 shows.
Okay.
During Chinese New Year, when tourism was at its peak, we were doing 3 shows a day.
Wow.
I'd get to the theater at 9 a.m. and get back to the hotel room at 11 p.m. Then after the peak tourism, we went down to 2 shows, 6 days a week, and we had 1 day off. Mondays was our dark day, so that gave me a chance to see the country and experience.
So were you doing like comedy, stand-up comedy type of stuff, or were you doing some illusions, or were you adding some relief to the comedy relief?
If anybody remembers who Ed McMahon was,
Okay.
we're dating ourselves.
Yeah.
I was the Ed McMahon of the show.
Okay.
I was the first entertainer everyone saw as they came into our theater. Our lobby was decorated steampunk.
Okay.
Old crates and props and curtains just hung over things. It had a grunge look to it. And I had to say hello to them, introduce them to what they were going to expect to see, get them excited, tell them a little bit about the theater.
Right.
So if we had 200 or less, I may have done 2 15-minute shows.
Right.
But when we had 14 people coming through the turnstiles, I was doing 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Just getting them. It was it was a very immersed type experience.
Yeah.
So
Sounded like it was a lot of fun.
it was a lot of work, but it was definitely a lot of fun.
And something that you remember for the rest of your life.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's great. Well, this convention is really great also. I mean, it hadn't started yet, but this is the 87th here at Abbott's.
Well, you're just amazing. You're popping all over the world, one convention after the other, and here I'm dead tired. I've only been here 6 days, and you just got in from Europe, and you're sitting here smiling, and you look all well refreshed. And I'm thinking,
played golf?
And you just played? Oh my gosh, it was brutal today. It was cool until about an hour ago. The sun really started beating down on us.
I was going to say, I was looking. It's my watch says it's 86 degrees, but I think it's much hotter than that.
Oh man, yeah.
Well, Al, thanks a lot for putting this together, and also the
You're very
tour and everything
welcome.
else you do, and your friendship. It's been great.
I appreciate our friendship, and glad you're here. This, I hear this from every convention you're at, how unique their convention is,
Yeah.
and I believe it because I have this that I've experienced my entire life. So when I used to think that we were the unique one, it's nice to hear that Abercorndabra is unique, and the Winter Festival is now done, but everybody has their favorite convention,
Right.
and as long as we keep moving the art along, hopefully new young blood will come in. And with you and your podcast, we've had people from Europe come to Colon, Michigan, just because they heard you talking about it.
Yeah.
And every time I hear you speaking at a different convention, I think to myself, God, I got to get to that one. I got to get to that one. So you are so lucky to be able to experience it, and all the friends you've made all over the world.
Well, I'm thankful.
Thank you for everything you've done.
You're welcome, and I thank you also, and all the people who are listening as well. I remember it was last year or the year before, Tom Dombrowski from Chicago came over one day, and he said, I was listening to the podcast yesterday, and he said, it sounded like you're having such a good time. He said, I decided I got to come today.
See that? Exactly, yeah. So come
as
on,
you're listening,
come on to Colon, Michigan.
That's right. Come on over. If you're anywhere nearby, please do. This is a great convention, as you will be hearing over the next few days. So don't miss it. Be part of it. Come on over. Sorry to miss the golf tournament. It was a lot of fun. Al, thank you for this and everything else you do. So with the Magic Word Podcast, that was Al, the only. Aloha.
Aloha.
Carry on. The golf tournament is already over, and people are starting to come in. And one of the people who has been booked as talent, and you've heard from on many occasions, as he just reminded me, on the podcast here from time to time. And you can follow his career as he was working at the Illusionist, with the Illusionist, and also then now at his own theater, Marvin's Theater, out in La Quinta, California. Is that right? Yeah, I got it. And as I recall, I think you said the Sydney Opera House was one of the favorite places that you really enjoyed working of any place in the world. And you know who I'm talking about. That's Jeff Hobson. Here he is, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Hey, Scotty, how are things?
Fine with me. It's doing great.
Yep.
You like this convention because you're from Michigan.
Well, this is this is my first convention. I've found it in the explanation instead of a boy's life when I was 12, and I told my dad I really want to go, and he surprised me. We went, and then the next year, went to the convention and started to perform in all of the the contests for years, and eventually the shows, and eventually every 10 years I'd come back as a pilgrimage to make sure I don't remember all the people. And this is the first time I'm spending the entire week at the get-together in, I think maybe 25, 30 years.
Because you've been working so darn hard.
Well, yeah, I've been traveling. Yeah, usually if I do a spot on the show, it's like, yeah, it's just a quick one day, maybe two if I'm lucky, and then I leave. Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I remember you were here for a long time. Actually, you and I were on the same foursome. We played golf together, but that was 15 years ago or so.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now I'm just I'm doing a lecture this year, and now is this, by the way, is this episode going to go out after
tonight?
The convention?
Nope, tonight.
Oh, tonight. Okay. Well, then I won't spoil the surprise, because in case anyone listens.
Well, then people should come to Colon, and they should register for the convention. You should hurry on over here so you can find out what the surprise is.
Oh, okay. Yes. Anyways, no, and so, and I tell you, it's just like a homecoming. This is just like old friends. It's family. It is actually family.
You touched on something, and you said that you were interested in magic, and your dad had brought you here. So were you encouraged? Did you belong to a magic club? I assume you did as a child. In the club, and you practiced when you said that you came here and competed. I mean, you don't jump right into a convention first. Well, I did. First magic convention, I competed because I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Because, like, when you're at a magic club, you usually ask everybody to compete, or to perform. And so I always performed it. And so I thought that's what conventions were about. So is that kind of...
No, well, this was baptism by fire. I mean, I did go to Roy Kissel's magic shop downtown Detroit and bought a few items and, this and that. But this was the first big... I mean, I was enthralled... how big this was, comparatively, because I had not any...
base of comparison.
Nothing to compare it to. And so, it was amazing. And then the very next year, that's when I entered the competitions. And so, yeah, it was... I was one of those, luckily I was an only child, so I had no life, except for what I made it. I sequestered myself in my little back bedroom every day after school for 3 hours just practicing.
Your mom was wondering, what is he doing back there?
Yeah, well, they knew, because I played my dad's records to try and perform to. So
you did a feather boa act back there?
Oh, I did. Well, not. No, I did have some fakini, color changing plumes, but generally it started with a sleight of hand act and worked into doves eventually, which of course that only lasted for about 4 years, and then dropped the doves and just started doing more comedy. By the time I was hitting 17, 18, 19 years old, doing more comedy, and now it's, that's my forte.
I think it's kind of unusual that you go from a non-talking act straight into comedy. Yeah. So, because usually you kind of break into it because you've been talking a little bit and you realize I'm getting laughs, but you decided to go straight.
Well, there's a few things that I think maybe I had a little bit of a business sense way back then when I knew that number one, close-up doesn't make as much money as stage, because it's obviously the amount of people that can see it. Not necessarily now because of the projection screens and you can get a lot of people on a cruise
today,
ship.
Of course.
Yeah, today, of course, but way back, so I said, okay, well, I can do a better job making a living that way. Even as a kid, I thought I'd make more. And then also I realized that the comedy magicians were more popular than the silent acts, and they made people happier, smiling, laughing. And I knew that more people showed up and wanted to see the comedy than they did the magic. Not to belittle magic in any way. It's just that I knew... even today, you take any cruise ships and they do surveys, and I know this, is that the most popular acts on cruise ships are not magicians, are not comedians, but they're comedy magicians. Both of them together always rate the highest in cruise ship
A lot of magicians, and I mean like 90%, seems like considers themselves as comedy magicians.
Yeah.
And not everybody is a comedy magician.
Well, no, it never used to be that way.
How do you define that?
How do you define a comedy magician? Well, you can. Are you a comedian that does magic or a magician that does comedy?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you don't. I think though, I think it's just percentages. I mean, when I was doing my corporate shows, I did three tricks in 45 minutes. And the rest were just all jokes, gags, fun stuff. So I guess in that respect, you're a comedian that happens to do magic. Mm-hmm. If you're a magician and you're doing lots of magic and you drop one or two funny lines per trick, then you're a magician.
Consider yourself a comedy magician.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it's hard. It really is hard to say.
Yeah, I remember one time talking with Fielding West, and he said, "What's in your act, actually?" And I told him, "I got this, and this." He said, "Yeah," and he said, "This, and this." And before long, I had like 6 or 8 things. He said, "Well, how long is your show?"
Yeah. Yeah, that is the problem. No, I know. Well, if you've ever seen Levent, he does like 50 tricks in 45 minutes. I mean, it's amazing the amount. But he's one of the funniest guys. He is a blur. Because, I mean, the amount of magic he gives and the funniness of everything, if you can keep up with it, he's like, to me, he's on a whole nother level.
He goes from funny to serious. Then he starts doing the linking rings and the music changes. Like, who is this guy all of a sudden?
Yeah, no, I think he's like the Fred, I don't say the Fred Cast, but he's sort of like, he's a bridge from old magic to new magic because he does all the old great stuff, but then he does all the new stuff as well. He's really good.
Yeah. Have you had him out at your place in Marvin's?
Every year.
Do you?
Every year, and he's got I tell you, he's probably the most in demand. Well, he likes working. That's all he loves doing.
He's on the cruises mostly, right?
He does mostly cruises, and I say, look, I have to get him a year in advance for just that 1 week. If I don't get that, it's gone. So he's very popular, yeah.
So how many years now has Marvin's Magic been going?
Well, this is the beginning of the 5th full season. We actually went a half season before COVID. Took a year off, started again, and this fall will be the beginning of our 5th full season. And every year it's a few percentages better. We don't advertise at all, really. Mm-hmm. It's just word of mouth. So it's been getting very well. And where we're at, there's nothing else to do except for golf. Gee, darling, we're going to golf. What else are we going to do? Oh, dinner, yes. And then what? We don't know. And other than that, that's all there is.
It's not like big festivals drawing people there for...
Well, there's Coachella for 2 weekends, but that's, total of 4 days.
Yeah.
So, other than that, no, this is it. Our theater is the funnest thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So you spend most of your time there. You're not out on the road like nearly that you used to be.
No, not at all. I get an occasional somebody says, "Hey, you want to go to the Bahamas for a day and do a show?" And I do that or whatever. Just go fly out and do 1 or 2 one-nighters per season. But not many at all. I'm too busy with the theater, and it's doing well. It's actually it's fun to do. Seeing all these acts, full-on acts, every night. It's a learning experience.
Why then don't you go to FISM and see some of these acts there? I mean, like this year there were 140 competitors, all really good acts. And I would think as a booker of talent for a venue like you have, that would be an ideal place to go and see some of the best of the world.
Yeah, the problem is that I need to book like 1 hour acts.
Oh, and they don't.
If you can do
they
an
got
hour,
12 minutes and they're done.
If you can do an hour, and comedy magic is the thing to do. Occasionally I'll have mentalism. Occasionally I'll have a juggler who can do an hour. It was very funny. But 95% of the time, I need a guy who can do an hour.
Okay, that answers that question.
And that answers that question because all the great FISM acts are 6 to 8 minutes, and that's it.
Right.
And I can have I have Artem Shchukin, right? Shchukin. Wonderful. But I have to have him on a special night, on a special occasion with me as the headliner.
Right.
Because then I do an hour, and then he does his few minutes.
Right.
So that's how that works.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm glad you're here at this convention, and glad you get a chance to kind of spend some time with us instead of in and out.
Scotty, you are the world's best magic podcast and continues to this day. How many years has it been for you, Scotty? 14. Yeah. That's a long time. Hey, kids, you got a long way to catch up.
And I think the one I'm releasing, this one will be like number 919.
I want to do 1,000 even. When you're ready for that one, give me a call. Yeah, I want to do 1,000 even.
Then you'll talk to me.
Then I'll really tell you the inside story. Give you the real work.
Thanks a lot. Right, Some of the Magic Word Podcast. That was Jeff Hobson. Scotty out. The first opening night, well, let me rephrase that. The day zero, so I like to call this, because there is no scheduled activity for Tuesday. officially, except for the Colon Open, and we've already had that, and you've heard some people talk about that here earlier. But the opening night party is always hosted here by David Seebach, and we're having it in the Grand Magic Theater, which is right downtown. It used to be Dwayne Laughlin's place, if you guys have ever come here. Of course, he's moved to Branson, Missouri, I believe, then now. Is that where he is? Last you heard?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think that's where Dwayne is. I think
he went to Branson, yeah.
He wants to be with family, right, in that area.
Yeah, that's right, because he had family who was kind of moving up in that area. But anyhow, I'm with the guy who's hosting the party right now, and I love your shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very cool. Is that a tiki theme?
It's kind of an outrageous thing, kind of a pinup girl, retro.
Yeah, kind of Betty Page holding a martini.
Betty Page, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But art rather than photos.
Yes, yeah, I like that kind of nouveau art, I guess. And the guy behind the voice there is one of my favorite guys, David Seebach. Great performer, and in every way, in every aspect. I always love watching him, not only on stage, but also just chatting with him. And so, hello, David. Good.
Thank you.
Thanks for hosting this party again, as usual.
My girlfriend Julie said this is the 14th year we've hosted a night before party, and I hadn't realized that it had been a tradition that had gone on that long. But we're happy to do it, and we're not looking for anything other than let's get everyone together and let people talk in the manner, Scott, that you and I are talking about right now. It's just in the carnival lingo, I believe it was called cutting up jackpots. And that's where I would tell you a story about a performance I'd done where everything went wrong. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it was a disaster when it occurred. And what is the definition of comedy? Tragedy plus time. And so I'm now telling you about this disaster that occurred to me on stage, and now I'm laughing about it because it was so funny. And then you share one with me where you say, oh, it was so hot, or the stage wasn't right, or somebody fell, and that's what we're hearing here. Yeah. And these are the great stories of show business that normally are forgotten and lost.
That's a good point.
And they shouldn't be. They should be remembered.
I wish I could record some of these kinds of conversations, but a lot of them is kind of like, I don't know if I really want to put that on tape.
Well,
you know.
Well, I think, and this is how I've lived my performing career. I've certainly had my share of things that have gone wrong.
Sure.
The longer you perform, the greater the odds are that something will occur that you didn't anticipate. If you only do 2 shows in your career, they might both be perfect. If you do 200,000 shows in your career, they will not all be perfect. And so if you have the ability that when something goes wrong in front of a live audience and you're ashamed and you're sorry, and then you can walk off stage and you can shake it off and say, okay, that didn't work.
I know not to do that next time. Whatever.
But tomorrow's another day, and you can't go to bed that night and you can't beat yourself up for it. It's done. You can't fix it. It's over. Do better the next time.
Because it was a live show.
It was a live show. Yeah. Now, if it's been recorded on some sort of media,
then
unfortunately, that may come back to haunt us. But other than that, you just have to realize, I mean, anytime any of your listeners go to see a live show, it doesn't have to be a magic show, you have musical, a dancer could fall, a singer could forget the lyrics or be flat, or a musician in the orchestra pit could have missed their cue, or a curtain could have malfunctioned. It's live theater. That's what makes it vital and exciting.
Yeah.
Whereas when you see something that has been recorded and edited and somebody says, cut, that didn't work right, let's do it again. And then it's so homogenized and the excitement is not there.
I know what you're saying. I'm glad you defined cutting up jackpots, because I remember Bev Bergeron had that long...
That was his expression.
Yeah, and I didn't know what that meant.
That's what it meant, as far as I know.
Yeah, that's interesting. One story comes to mind about a friend of mine. It was not my story, but I have repeated this, in which he was doing a church basement show, and he was doing a dove pan with little chicks. And when he lit it on fire, he'd used too much lighter fluid, so when he produced the chicks were on fire. And so they jumped out of the pan onto the floor, and it was like a carpet, apparently, of some sort of a rayon carpet or whatever, that started to catch fire. And so he's stomping out the fire, so he's stepping on these chicks.
Oh, my God.
He's killing these animals.
Well...
And so it gets worse, somebody goes to the kitchen behind him and gets a pan that they see, and apparently it had grease in it, and they threw that on the fire, and it just went kawoom. Yeah, it just got worse. There's a story.
May I state for the record, I have never had anything quite that awful happen in my career.
Yeah. That wasn't me. It was someone who had shared that story with me. But, oh, my goodness, that was like the epitome of something. Yeah, I'm sure you've had a lot of things that have happened, on the stage and stuff going on. When you, like, for example, do the Halloween show, or used to,
I still do.
Do you? Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're there this year again.
The spook shows and the come flying in and everything like that. Yeah. I'm sure there's times in which they don't come flying in on cue.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that when you perform many, many times, that you increase the odds that something will go wrong, you also increase the odds that everything will go right because your people have done something over and over and over. True. So, for instance, somebody who's given a role, they're more likely to make an error or mistake the first or second or third time, not the 400th time.
Yeah.
They got to know it by then. So it swings both ways.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point then, too. So this has just been a great thing. And last year, I think it was I'm talking about the convention being a great convention. Last year, you introduced your new book. Is that right?
That's correct.
And how's it sales been going?
You'd have to ask Greg Bordner of Abbott's Magic, but it's Illusion Quests, and it's still available.
Illusion Quest.
Yep.
So what's it about? Just tell the people who are interested in it.
The compilation of all the articles I've written for magic magazines, both Abbott's magazine, The New Tops, and the Society of American Magicians magazine called MUM, Magic, Unity, and Might. And I've written all these articles about big stage illusions, not card tricks, not rope tricks, not silk scarf tricks generally, but sawing a woman in halves, a levitation. Now, I don't want to mislead anyone. My articles do not explain necessarily how to do it. Yeah. They don't give you details like this is what you... What they do give...
How to build.
What they do give is the information that when I was younger, I couldn't find anywhere, which was a young person looking to add big illusions to their repertoire. And should I add this one or that one? Which was the better choice? That information was not available. So if something required special lighting or special staging, that they never told you.
Yeah.
Or did something need 4 or 5 big theatrical road cases so you could take it from show to show? That they didn't tell you. So my articles gave all the information that you couldn't get elsewhere. Frankly, Scott, it was the information I wished I could have had at that age, and it was not available. So I thought, okay, I'll fill the void.
And now you can combine that all in one place? Or
well, yes, if you buy the Illusion Quest book and you want to find out anything about a famous levitation act or different versions of sawing a woman in halves or putting a beautiful woman in a box and then putting swords or knives or something, you will find the information out. You will find out if it's a good idea, especially for a young performer. Right. And when I say young, I don't mean young in age. It could be somebody who's 55, but he's just starting. So he's young as a performer. And there are certain big illusions that are appropriate, and there are others that aren't. For instance, if you had a magic act where a beautiful woman appeared magically, and you thought, I want to put that in my show.
Yeah, I'm going to get a tip over trunk.
I want to get whatever that is.
Yeah.
And now you're invited to perform at a Cub Scout group or a church banquet or something in a basement. Is that the best thing for you? Because if you magically make that woman appear, and that's the best thing in your repertoire, shouldn't that be the last thing? Shouldn't that be the big finale? the one where you're going to take your bow on.
Yeah.
But now you have this woman there for your entire show that the audience hasn't seen. Because if they see her 30 minutes earlier, it's not such a big surprise that she jumps out of a box that appeared empty. So no, don't do that. Of course, you could do it at the beginning of your show, but then you got to have something else
to
finish the show.
Yeah.
So that's the advice I'm trying to give. What's a good thing?
Also, the structure of the act.
Structure, yes. What should be at the beginning? What should be at the end? And then, oh, by the way, this prop won't roll through a doorway. It's on wheels, but it's too wide, so you're going to wind up at your show place, whatever it is. Now, how do you do it?
I remember trying to get a zigzag down the steps of a church basement one time.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
I'm sure you've done that too. It's like,
unfortunately, yes.
Did it once, learned a lesson. But
You're right.
anyhow, thank you very much again for hosting.
Well,
the party.
always a pleasure to talk to you, Scott.
Looking
Thank
forward
you.
to this.
We all are. We're all looking for fun this week.
That's right. And Al the Only was telling me earlier that on Thursday when he does the cemetery tour, one of the things is they're going to unveil a new plaque that will be dedicating this to the Historical Society or something, as far as the Magician's Cemetery as being
That's great.
landmark or something.
As long as he isn't announcing that I am now a permanent resident, I'm happy with
Not
it.
yet, not yet. You got your stone there all ready to go?
No, but I don't know. My girlfriend might have kind of done something behind my back, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. All right, Dave, thanks again.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Scott.
So for the Magic Word Podcast. One last thing. If they want to get the book, they can get the Illusion Quest through Abbott's.
Abbott's. It's also available on Amazon. It's available as a hardcover and 2 versions in soft cover. One where all the illustrations, and there are lots of photos in black and white, and then the other one where the illustrations are both in a few in black and white, but many in color.
And where can people go to get information about your spook show in October?
DavidSeebach.com.
Seebach. There you go.
Yep.
Go check it out. If you're anywhere near the Milwaukee area,
Yes.
you got to go see him. Okay, love you, man.
Thank you, Scott.
So the Magic Word Podcast. That was David Seebach at the party.
At the
Scotty,
party.
That's right. Let's go party.
Party on.
One of the things I like to do when I'm at magic conventions is to speak to first-timers. And I've got a friend of mine who is kind of funny because she's a first-timer here at Abbott's get-together, and I was a first-timer at her convention at Abercorndabra. I say hers along with Steve Daly and a lot of others who put that thing together. And so I'm with her right now, Mikayla Oz. Hey, Mikayla.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back.
I am glad that you are here. So why did you come to this one? I mean, how many conventions do you attend a year?
Yes, I hardly attend any conventions, but this has been on my list since I was a child. And I remember seeing, or I remember reading about Lance Burton winning the stage competition when I was a kid, and I always wanted to go, but my parents couldn't afford to come. And now that I'm an adult, I finally can make it, so I'm really excited to be here.
Now, did you drive here?
I did, yeah.
Because you're in Iowa.
Yep, Des Moines, Iowa. Yep.
Okay. And that's from here probably, about a 6 or 8 hour drive?
Yeah, 7.5. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
there we go. And you've been working with Steve for a long time on Abercorndabra. How many years you've been working with that?
I've been with Steve with Abercorndabra probably since the beginning, but Abbott's just legendary in the magic world, as you know, and it's really a big family, and I think Abercorndabra kind of got that. We want to bring that family feel to Abercorndabra, just like Abbott's does.
So you're here a little bit on. It's an educational tour in a way.
I think in a sense, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot you can learn. I mean, we're all standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Abbott's has such a prolonged history with magic. I was listening to a podcast on the way up here, and it was Percy Abbott and Blackstone who started Abbott's company.
Right.
And it's crazy that I'm here now standing in, history, you know?
Well, as you start to get into this, you understand, some of the things that have made this what they call Camp Colon.
Absolutely.
Because it's something that the campers keep coming back year after year because they got, as you saw, the one stoplight downtown flashing, and you haven't experienced a street of cards yet.
Not yet.
In which they're going to be throwing cards out there in front of the American Legion Hall.
Oh, fine.
I mean,
okay.
you're in store for a lot
I
of
have
things.
no idea what to expect.
Well, I was about to ask you, that coming to this, I know you've been listening to the podcast, and I've been doing these reports from Abbott so many years as
of
well.
Course.
And so you've got some sort of a semblance of an idea. But
Absolutely. But I really wanted to come in, like, sure, I've read about it in the Lincoln Ring, and I've heard your podcast in the past, so I've always wanted to, but I'm kind of coming in cold to everything. I really want to just be immersed in everything that it is, because everybody talks so highly of this convention. So. One
of my main question, I guess, has to do with where you're staying. Because when I first came, I can't remember where it was I stayed. Yes, I do. I remember I was staying with Rick Walker, and he was one of the performers, and so I got to stay in the house that they were renting for the performer at that time. When I came back in later years, I stayed one time in Sturgis, which is 15 miles one direction. Coldwater is in the other. And I say that because, as you know, there are no motels, no hotels, because people are thinking, how come he's asking Mikayla where she's staying? But I'm curious because some people camp.
Yeah.
Some people are, find lodging here locally with one of the natives, if you will.
Yeah. I'm very grateful. I'm staying with Julie and David Seebach.
Okay, well, there you
go.
So
they have a cabin. And
you known them for a while?
I've known them for a couple years now. So they're involved with the Houdini conference. So in Wisconsin. So.
And you're going to be you've been going to that also?
I've gone to that once now, and we'll probably go back again in the future.
I understand the SAM is going to be in Appleton, Wisconsin next year because of the 100th anniversary.
That's so exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
We the Houdini, since Houdini's passing, is that correct? And that's in Appleton. So that'll be very historic, and definitely have to. Are you going to that?
I am definitely thinking about that. It's on my list, and I'm going to say I'm 90% there. Okay. Yeah, I mean I haven't committed really to all of my conventions next year. I'm cutting back.
Yeah. And actually, I should mention. So you mentioned Abercorn-Dabra earlier. This is breaking news. But Abercorn-Dabra now our theme for 2020. Our theme for 2025 or 2026, I should say, is The Great Escape. But this is the first year we've moved the convention. So now in 2026, the convention will be September 11th through the 13th in Des Moines, Iowa. And it'll be Houdini themed as well.
But it's going to be in the same hotel?
It's in a completely different hotel. It's actually one of the second hotel we were ever at. But we were there for 8 years prior, and now we're moving to a new date. But we're back at that second to original hotel that we were at.
Well, as you know, I just came back from FISM, and so one of the things that we were talking about, because I was there with a nice group, and we got to tour around through Italy, we're thinking next year of doing some sort of a river cruise
that'd be fun.
In Budapest, which will be the 100th anniversary, and David Merlini has a museum, a Houdini museum there, which is supposed to be the best Houdini museum in the world.
Wow.
And so
you have to give me that contact.
Well, I'm thinking about trying to put together some sort of a travel group, perhaps, to do a river cruise for magicians.
That sounds
kind of
amazing.
A thing. So, I'm announcing it here for the first time. If you guys who are listening are interested, contact me, and I might.
I'm interested already.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that. That sounds fun.
I think it could be something different. Of going with Viking River Cruise, because they do all some of these great cruises. AMA. There are a few other river cruises, but it'd be kind of cool. I think if we took over the whole ship or at least had 30 or 40 people to attend, for that kind of a thing.
That'd be so cool.
Because it'll be a very special year that won't be repeated.
Absolutely, never again. Yeah.
Well, anything else that you're particularly looking forward to? I mean, the lineup, the talent this year is phenomenal. But
the talent is amazing this year. I mean, I think I saw they posted they have 2 to 4 FISM award-winning acts that are here this year at Abbott's.
Yeah.
So first off, great job to the people who are booking the talent. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited. Abbott's is a family. It's a big family get-together is what they've always promoted it as. And I'm excited to meet everyone and be a little part of this family.
Well, I think after you come one time, you're going to have to keep coming back because you're going to say, I had such a great time. It's kind of the way I am about Abercorn-Dabra. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out which ones I want to come back to. I mean, I love all of them. They're all so much fun, but man, there's some that just have a special something in my heart, and Abercorn-Dabra is, I can feel getting to this point of what we have here at Colon. And I've been coming to Colon for a long number of Vectors I've been coming to for almost 40 years. And so that's, the 4F convention. So, that's something that I would never miss. But that's really got to be a family.
We'd love to have you back. We want to have you back.
Thank you. And I want to thank you also for the award that I had received over there. Completely surprised the heck out of me. As you were saying that, I was thinking, kind of sounds like me. I've done that, and I've done that too. Wait a minute.
Well, you completely deserved it. And,
thank you.
I'm excited to see what Busan, you said?
Yeah, Busan, South Korea.
Potentially brings in 3 years from now.
That's right. Well, might bring you. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Mikayla Oz. We'll see you later throughout the week. This is Scotty out. This is Abbott's Get Together. It's the 87th, and I'm here right now with a fellow who has been running Abbott's for a long number of years with his wife, Debbie. And here he is, Greg Bordner. Hi, Greg. How are you?
Oh, it's Magic Week.
It's Magic Week. And the whole city turns out for this. This is great the way they do it.
Well, either that or they leave town.
Which then they can still make money because they can rent their houses.
Well, there is that too. Yes, that Airbnb and Bo and all that. Sure. They have garage sales and everything else you can think of.
Yes, but the weather this year, the weather always changes. It's either hot and sunny or humid or rainy. I remember some years it seems like it just had was it last year whenever the dealer's room flooded, I think?
Oh, yeah. We pipe broke.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There was a fountain in the middle of the room.
Yeah. But this year it's just been hot and humid.
Yeah, but tomorrow is supposed to be 72 for a high.
Oh, that's good.
That is humidity. The humidity's the killer.
Yeah.
But we're very fortunate to have a get-together again. Everything's air-conditioned now in the school. That certainly helps. The gym, we turned that into a theater. Lance Burton is here getting set up for tonight's show and how he's going to handle everything.
Yep.
And for him, it's just another day, as it is for me.
That's right, yeah. Real pros at this.
Well, it's how we make a living. So,
yes.
Yeah. Hey, kid, you got any money?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me show you the ball and vase.
That's right. Speaking of which, what would you say, one of your best sellers? I know that has changed over the years at Abbott's, but what would you say is like on the catalog? Was one of the people?
Well, we do now have a catalog. It has QR codes on it, and delivered, it's $20. It came with your get-together registration.
Oh, yeah.
So it's in the new century. I'm barely able to use a QR code, but I know what it's supposed to do.
It's supposed to do, yeah.
Yeah. And if you have Wi-Fi, it works.
Uh-huh.
And so it's the old Abbott catalogs that were like the Bible of magic for all those years, decades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I worked on them in the basement. We used to have printers make them. It's got a long history, but now they are in stock and ready to ship.
I was just talking with Craig Diamond, who was almost in tears over this because it's reminded him of when he was a kid and his first Abbott's catalog. Yes, yes, it was, because he's been cruising for close to 50 years. You know,
Wow.
He started back in the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, and but he said he got started with the Abbott's catalog, and he said I didn't do very well in school with studies, but I did well with magic.
Well, anything to make a living, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great hobby for most people. You can make a living at it, but it's tough.
Yeah.
It's so
now,
tough.
You used to have and I say your dad and everybody in the past have had a lot of people who have been amazing, sort of say woodworkers, actually were woodworkers, but also designing and building a lot of stuff.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Well, Bud West, was famous. Glenn Babs, Arturo, all of that, but that's long gone. Rocky Clements, though, is in this century. He's got a booth over here. Mm-hmm. He's going to be doing the dealer show tomorrow and the show down at the Magic Factory. And he makes great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. Finger stretcher, hole-in-one, vampire block, beautiful pieces.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that someone is still attending to detail like that.
Oh, my goodness. I've had so many people try, and so many things can go wrong. It's unending. But yes, he's broken through. He's very determined. He was like a shop teacher in school.
Oh,
and,
okay.
now he's a retired teacher, so he has more time. And, he really does spend a lot of time on these tricks. I think we're going to have to raise the price.
And this is, again, this is the 87th year of this, and so...
Oh, yeah. Next year's dates are August 5 through 8. We're going to do it again. Somebody will if I'm not alive.
You say that every year.
I know. And I especially want to thank my wife for doing this, because without her, it just wouldn't happen. She runs the place. I just say, yes, ma'am, and get out of the way.
You know the right answer.
Yes. I've finally trained after 49 years of marriage. 9 of the happiest years of my life.
Yeah. And again, the convention's been going on for a long number of years and had a lot of wonderful history that's attached to it. And one of the things you used to have was there are different activities. You were talking about how there are magic shows that are going on over at the Abbott's Magic Factory.
Yes.
Also, we got busking, we got street magicians
Oh,
working
yes.
out there.
Yeah, there's magic through the whole town, in the bars, restaurants, on the streets. It's amazing.
And years ago, they used to do the Ventorama. That
that's what today is today. I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, so that's still going on, part of the...
Yep. Bryn is going to be more or less in charge, but Scott Carell's going to help.
And those of you might remember Bryn from America's Got Talent.
Oh, yes. She has quite the following.
Yeah.
Yes. She's very talented, very young girl. Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Mm-hmm. And Al the Only is going to be doing something tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, so tomorrow Al's going to be at the cemetery, giving the cemetery tour, and we're going to be having a couple people who are they're going to have some services for those who are being interred, I think.
Well, if you're in Colon and you're a turd and you're underground, that's a good thing.
I guess you are, yeah.
Anyway, I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
And they're also getting a dedication for a historical...
the state marker is at the front of the main, because of all the magicians that are in the cemetery. There's like 50 of them now, and the number's growing. So it's going to mark it as the magic capital of the world, magician cemetery kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two, Mickey Blashfield, who was a Colonite, and used to, help us any way he could. He used to be in charge of the buskers and did different things.
And he's on the board of the American Museum of Magic.
Oh, yeah, that too. A big supporter in magic. And then Gordon Miller worked here from 1960 till... I forget, into the 90s.
And he always opened Abbott's convention.
Oh, yes. He was the opening with the banners that dropped down. And he worked with Neil Foster, took the Chavez course. He was Neil's driver and MC for a number of shows, Monk Watson back in the old days. And then he and Mullica used to hang out together here with Tim Wright. Oh, yes. That was quite the time.
And so, they're going to be... interred tomorrow, as I said. I guess. They're going to be put laid to rest.
Wand.
Broken wands,
Yes, I think they're already...
out there?
Yes. Mickey, I think, was actually buried in Homer, Michigan, his hometown. And Gordon, I don't know if he's actually going to be buried tomorrow, but his headstone is there. Yeah.
And there's a group going around also who has put together a video, I understand, doing a documentary. Have you talked with him about this?
Oh, that's Pete from MSU. Oh, yes, okay. This is his second year here.
I was going to say they were here last year working on it. They're still working on it this year.
He should finish this job. I can't get any results if he's still filming.
Was his plan really to put this on PBS in Michigan, or will it go nationwide? Or
I hope it goes worldwide.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. If we can get it on the internet, that'll do it too.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Greg, as always, great talking with you, and good success on this convention on 87.
Well,
I'm looking forward next year to 88. I mean, the lineup this year. I might add, by the way, for those who are listening, I understand that due to visa issues that Artem Shukin and Morton Christensen cannot come, but have been adequately replaced with Terry Evanswood is going to be coming in.
Yes.
And who was the other? Somebody else, I think, that...
oh, yes. I think Tom Ewing...
I know Jeff Hobson was going to be doing
Jeff Hobson
something.
Now, yes, he was going to be just lecturing. Now he'll be on the show. Mm-hmm. Dan Sperry is going to be doing a lecture on Kids Show.
That's right.
That should be exciting.
It will. I've heard it, and it is more amazing than you might think. It's really good.
It's kind of shocking because that's his
true.
look.
Exactly.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
great
he
man.
really is a great man. Yeah.
So, yes, we're going to cover for it. It used to be we got Jerry Conklin with the Cutting the Girl in Six, and he had a Temple of Bananas, and we had a show no matter what.
There was always something.
Yeah,
that's true.
We're always ready. You can't sink this ship.
Well, no, you won't. I mean, with the quality of talent that they've got who attend this convention every year, that's great. Have you heard any numbers as far as attendance goes this year?
Oh, it's over 300 registered, and then there's plenty of show tickets available still.
Okay, so
we can get you in the bleachers.
Okay, there we go. We got room for you. Come on down. It's not too late. I mean, the weekend's coming up. You should get here by the time that this gets posted. And you guys and gals who are particularly in Chicago, there's no reason why you shouldn't come on over. It's going to be, sounds like great weather, great magic. Good golly, this is a great place to be. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
Okay, for the Magic Word Podcast. That's Greg Bordner. Scotty out. One of the people who has been coming to Abbott's forever, it seems like, is a good friend of mine who has also put together a lot of dinners that have become traditions, where we've all gotten together, gone out for chicken dinner in a place, or we've gone over to an Amish household and had buggy rides, and we've shared magic with their families as they have shared their food and things with us. And he also has been featured here on an episode in the past of The Magic Word, and he's worked with Jeff Hobson. I want to shut up and introduce him. Here he is, Michael Mode. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Scott. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Fantastic. What'd you think of this evening's show, by the way?
Oh, you know what? This was an amazing show. It was Lance Burton and Friends, and for a Wednesday night, one of the best shows I've seen here at Abbott's in years and years and years. Yeah.
It makes you wonder on a Wednesday night, and you think a lot of times, okay, you don't have the full house yet. People are still arriving. The weekend's not here. Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it'll start to pick up.
Yeah.
But goodness sakes, this was just a dynamite powerhouse show. It's obviously proven because he's done this in so many different places with the people who are in the show.
I'm a huge Lance Burton fan, and I sat here with a smile on my face all night long. My wife knows the music, and it was just great. Lance is the best, right?
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about also who else was on the show, so that way people know who is.
Yes, it was Lance Burton and Friends, so it was Fielding West, Michael Goudot, and then Keith
West. Yeah, Keith West.
So a lot of illusions, a lot of comedy, a lot of laughs, and it was fantastic. Michael Goudot, he instead of eating apples, he said he chipped a tooth. Dennis said no more apples, so now he's eating tomatoes in his juggling routine, and it was funny. It was great. And just a great start to the best week of the year. And I know it's just going to keep getting better.
You look forward to this every year, then, too.
This is it's been said before, the family reunion you want to come to.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
This is the family that you wish you had.
Yeah.
Because everybody you love, it's for sure.
I started coming here 38 years ago, and I remember going to the Legion and meeting Franz Harari and Jeff Hobson and all those guys, and now they're here, and those are some of my best friends, and that's what Abbott's is about. There's conventions, and then there's the get-together. Yeah. And the get-together is very special because after the show, there's only a couple places you can go, and the Legion is the main one. You go to 5-Star Pizza or Curly's, and everyone from the show will be there. After the show, Lance will be at the Legion, and you get to become friends with these people over the years.
That kind of answers a question. I was wondering what it is that is the mojo that makes this such a family type of loving convention.
Yeah, I think that's it. And, as I look back at it over the years, I think coming here is like going to Disneyland or Disney World, Magic Kingdom. There are parts of Colon, a lot of parts of here, that are the exact same as when I was 12 years old coming here. They're the exact same. And then every year you see something new. So, like I said, it's family reunion. You got Dick Stoner, who's here, and we just celebrated his birthday.
90-something?
Yeah, was it 90? 99, I think
96 or something. He's old,
People that have been here, coming here 60 years, and then people there's a lot of brand new faces that I haven't seen. There's Peter, who's doing a documentary. He was just on Jeopardy. He was one of the contestants, and now he's doing a documentary on Abbott's and the get-together. So it's just a wonderful place.
And Harriet Jacobson has been a staple for years as well, and you've made some buttons in honor of her because she's the quintessential volunteer for magic conventions.
Yeah.
Everyone always yells Harriet's name whenever there's someone that's looking for a volunteer on stage. It's always funny whenever some of the magicians hear this and they're wondering, I guess I need to have Harriet. And everyone's never seen her before. And she was always just the most effervescent person on stage. And
Harriet was the best assistant for a magician in the world.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone will contest that, I know she was a good, dear friend to you as well as Gabe Blackstone. And her seat is left empty the entire week here. Rightfully so. Yeah. It's an honor.
Front row seat. They've got the name tag on the seat. That's where she always sat.
Yep. It's right there next to you and Gay. And, just how fitting. So we made some buttons up that say Harriet with an exclamation mark. Because anytime there was a magician here who needed a volunteer, And so I'm looking for a volunteer, and everyone in the audience would yell in unison, Harriet! And as I look around now, everybody's wearing these buttons. You have one on, I have one on, and it's just in her honor, because it's not the same without her. But she's here in spirit.
And that's just an example of about the love that we have for each other. People come and people go, and we have a lot of new people who are here for the first time and are exploring this, saying, I've heard about it. What is it that makes this special? And you have to experience it to actually understand it.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things that, you can listen to this podcast and you can hear Michael and I talk about this, but whenever that you come, it's like, oh, now I get it.
You have to come to Abbott's. If you've never been here, you have to come experience it. And then, if you have been here, you want to come back. And the more years you come, the better it gets.
I was talking earlier with Greg Bordner, and he was saying that we are going to be having it next year. There have been some rumors as to whether or not we're going to have it or not. This year, I was questioning it a little bit myself, because the lineup is absolutely amazing. And so I thought, okay, if it's going to be that strong, they're going out on top.
I thought the same thing. I thought this is going to be the last one, because they really stacked the deck with the great acts on this bill.
Greg said, no, we'll be back next year.
Yeah, and amazing. And I think this might be the 10th or 12th last get-together that I've attended. There's that rumor every year that this is going to be the last one.
Yeah.
But there'll never be the last one. Even during COVID, when they didn't have it, we still showed up.
Yeah.
And you sit around the lake, you go on the boat, you have a barbecue, and there were people doing magic. So the get-together will always continue in one way or another.
I think it will, and even in spirit, in the future. And Greg Bordner's health is not the best, and there are others who are not all that great. But whoever takes it over, whatever's going to happen, it'll happen in some form, fashion, or another that you just can't break a family.
Sure. Yeah, this isn't going away anytime soon.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, like for an example, we were talking earlier about the things that you have done with the Amish and whatnot. I know that's a lot of commitment for you, and you're not doing that anymore, but maybe somebody might pick that up. But we go through evolutions.
Yeah, we might do it again. For those listening that aren't familiar, we're in Amish country here. Colon, Michigan. The story goes that it's named Colon because there's two big lakes in town, and it looks like the punctuation mark of a colon from the sky.
I did not know that.
And also a colon is a pause in a sentence, and colon is like a brief pause in time, because things here move slower than they do the rest of the world. Coming to Colon is like the opposite of watching the news.
Yeah.
It kind of renews your faith in humanity when you come here. People still wave at you when you drive down the street and walk down the street. And there's a big Amish community surrounding us, because we're surrounded by cornfields and farms, and you'll see Amish riding horses in town here. And for years, we've got some good friends down in Shipshewana, Indiana, and Lisa and I, my wife, we would host chicken dinners, and you've been to many of them. We'd go for an all-you-can-eat Amish chicken dinner, and then after we'd go to the farm and put on a magic show. And it was amazing, because they were the best audience. They're the nicest people, and you could do anything for them, and they would love it. Because they're not watching TV, right? They're not.
Right.
But we had, Jeff Hobson doing the egg bag in the cornfields, Gene Anderson doing the newspaper tear. They had no idea that they were seeing these famous magicians who had been on cruise ships and in Vegas and everywhere.
We're famous to them, and it doesn't make. That's the thing. It doesn't matter.
You don't
whether you're Lance Burton or Joe Blow. Magic is appreciated and loved by them, because, as you say, they don't get much entertainment.
And that's how this whole town is, and that's how the get-together is. It doesn't matter who you are. You're accepted. You're a magician, and it's all equal here.
Yeah.
There's no ego when you come to Colon. Years ago, it used to be Harry Blackstone Jr. and Jay Marshall and Carol Fox, and they'd all be in the Legion. And then over the years, it's changed, and now it's Matt King and Lance Burton and Jeff Hobson and Greg Fruin's here this year, and a bunch of other names, too many to mention.
Oh, there are.
But
Terry Evanswood just came in.
Terry Evanswood's going to be performing, I heard. So, Mike Caveney's here, David Charvet, lots of great acts, Mark D'Souza. So, that's what it's about. It's about that friendship and making those relationships with the magicians.
Right.
And, it's great.
Well, if you guys who are listening, gals who are listening, are not encouraged, live nearby, and you're not encouraged by what we've just said here, I don't know what else we could say.
And one last thing. So Harry Blackstone Sr. first came to Colon in 1926. So he bought a piece of land, which is an island called Blackstone Island now, and because he loved to fish and he loved magic, so he'd come here in the summer. It was too hot back then to tour and do your show, and they didn't have air conditioning like they do now. So he came to Colon, and he would take his vacation and rehearse for the next year. And you know all this, but for the listeners. So next year is going to be 100 years of magic in Colon. And I think we've got to do it up even bigger and better next year, because it's going to be amazing.
It's interesting because it's in conjunction with 100th anniversary of the death of Harry Houdini.
Yeah, it is.
I know, like the SM is going to be having it in Appleton. Abercorndabra is going to have a special escape theme kind of thing. And the Houdini Museum over in Budapest is having something special. The Gay's working with them on that. There'll be a lot of different kinds of celebrations next year, and this is one of them, having nothing to do with Houdini, but the fact that it is 100 years.
And as we're talking, Gay Blackstone is sitting, she's standing now right behind us here, and she comes every year, and that Blackstone tradition continues, and it's great to see. It is. Yeah,
Mike, good to see you. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's always great seeing you, Scott. Yeah. And I know we're going to head over to the Legion now.
Yep, that's another thing. Yeah, that makes it so different. As you said, there are not any places to go, so everybody congregates at the same thing. It's kind of like, I don't want to go to bed now, so I got to go somewhere. Well, there's only one place to go.
And when we say we're going to Legion, if you've never been, the first year I came here, my mom brought me when I was just a kid, and she took me back to the motel, and then came back. And the next night she said, I've got to take you to this bar. And I said, well, I'm not even old enough to drink, Mom. What are you talking about? We walked into the Legion.
American Legion,
and I thought I was in heaven. There were people doing close-up magic everywhere in the American Legion. They cover up the pool table. They do magic. They're doing magic on the bar. They're doing magic here. They're doing it. And that's what it's going to be like tonight. Yeah. And then there's people out in front throwing cards on the street. And you go over to 5 Star and have the most amazing pizza, and it's great.
Well, I haven't had dinner yet. That's one of the things I'm planning on doing. Is either going to 5 Star or else I'm going to have a hot dog or hamburger over there at the Legion. Sure. And
nightly tradition.
All right, Mike.
Scott,
very good to see you. As always, my friend.
All right.
So the Magic Word Podcast. That was Michael Mode. And I think that's a wrap for today. And we're going to go to the Legion. And then when I get back over to the room, I'm going to put this to bed here. So that'll be the end of today's Day 1 report. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. Again, that was Michael Mode. This is Scotty out.